Car crashes are the #1 killer of teens.
Every 10 minutes, a teenager is involved in a car crash.
Teens face the greatest risk of dying in a crash their first year of licensure.
Even good kids, smart kids, are still inexperienced drivers, and they can still make bad driving decisions.
The Missouri Graduate Driver Licensing Law is a 3-stage program that helps to reduce high-risk exposure for new drivers.
The purpose of the GDL system is to lower teen driver crashes and fatalities.
As parents, you can make the biggest difference in preparing your new driver for the road ahead.
By enforcing the GDL laws, you can make the first impact on your teen's driving experience.
Paige was a wonderful child. I say that as objectively as I can. She cared very much about other people. Very kind young lady, and very social as well. She ended up applying and getting accepted to the School of Journalism here at Mizzou, which she was very much looking forward to.
The thing I remember most about her is just her personality and how much fun she had on just a regular daily basis. Just, was very vibrant and very positive.
I was accustomed to calling my son and daughter every day about 3:30, 3:45, as a single parent to, kind of catch up on what the day's activities were, what the plans were for the evening, who had homework, who had to work, who had plans with friends or sports or anything of that nature.
She was driving, and her brother and her boyfriend at the time were in the vehicle behind her, and she reached for something in her car or was distracted by something that dropped on the floor.
She was apparently trying to get to her phone, went off the right-hand side of the road, started down into a ditch, clipped a mailbox, overcorrected across Route K, and started to go off that side, and then overcorrected again into the path of an oncoming car, which crashed into the side of her car. No doubt in my mind that crash happened at the time I was trying to call Paige. They say you'll never be the same, and you will never be the same. It's just hugely profound. When you lose a child, you never get over it. There's any given time of day when you're visited by the pain. I had the family, the relationship, and everything that one could put up and say, it could not happen to this family, but it does. That's a silly, naive thought that it can't happen to you.
Crashes are 100% preventable. There's no such thing as an accident. When a crash happens, someone did something wrong.
As a parent, there are critical steps you can take to keep your teen driver safe. Supervise your teen's driving. Increase practice driving hours. While driving at night, during all weather conditions, city streets, highways, and 2-lane rural roads.
It's important for parents to drive with teenagers different parts of the day, because there's going to come a time where a teenager is going to have to drive at night, in the daytime, snow, rain, sleet. So if they're just used to driving daylight with the weather conditions it's going to be hard for them to adjust when it's snowing and dark outside.
Limit distractions. This should include limiting passengers, not using a cell phone, and limiting nighttime driving during the first 6 months of independent licensure.
You have cell phone, and we see cell phone usage so much out there on the highway. We have all seen it. We've gotten behind somebody that we think, oh, this is a drunk driver, this is an impaired driver, and we pull up beside them, or they pull off and we see they were on their phone the whole time. And it can be very discouraging, especially when you try to go out and educate the public that all of these crashes are preventable, and the #1 leading cause of car crashes in Missouri is inattention.
Discuss driving responsibilities and consequences. It is also a good idea to create a written parent-teen driving agreement that states your family rules and the consequences if they are broken.
I think it's important to have a GDL contract because it defines that bright line. If you cross that line, then these are the consequences. So there can never be the thought process of, well, I didn't know, or I was just doing this. If they know these are the rules and this is what's going to happen if they break those rules, there's no ambiguity there.
Model good behavior. Parental role models are key. Teens observe how their parents drive and mimic those driving habits. Always wear your seatbelt. Don't use your phone. drive at safe speeds, and don't drive while impaired or distracted.
You can't tell your teen, hey, don't text and drive, and then turn around and pick up your phone and text and drive, because they're going to see that. And that teen may look at that and say, you know what, mom and dad's doing it, it's okay for me to do it also.
Setting an example is the best thing you can do. If you're an adult and you're on the phone and you're texting or you're doing this or that, what do your kids expect that they should be doing at that time? That, I think, really is the biggest influence.
For too many Missouri families, the impact of a teen driver's split-second poor decision will stay with them forever.
Seeing how that 1 second changed everyone's lives, it's important to emphasize that that 1 second with any person driving could mean any number of lives, and change them drastically. So it's really important that, every second matters, and every second you have to pay attention, because you don't know whose life that can change.
And the worst part about it is, once it happens, you know it can happen. And you ask me what the aftermath is? The aftermath is the fear that it can happen again.
Together, we can change statistics on teen driver fatalities and heartbreaking stories of loss.
Together, we can make the first impact on our new drivers by preparing them for the road ahead.